Hi, this is Attorney Mike Greville. I'm coming to you from Chicago as usual, and today we're going to look at Better Call Saul Season 5, Episode 10. It's called Something Unforgivable, and it's good stuff. Let's do it. Okay, well, it's the season finale, and we kick this off with Saul finally coming clean with Kim about what really happened in the desert.
Put a gun to my head. And that guy on the phone, he showed up. He shot him with a sniper rifle.
Then Saul, or Jimmy if you like, has this moment of introspection, and of course the answer to this question is yes.
Am I bad for you? Are you bad for me?
Meanwhile, Mike is tracking Lalo for Gus, and he knows where he is, but there's a little complication.
Looks to be headed for his place in Chihuahua. He should be there in a few hours. Good. There's a wrinkle. He took Varga with him.
Mike here also tries to help Nacho. Gus has a hit on Lalo, and of course, he's in a very dangerous position if he's with him.
The way things stand, he's going to get caught in the crossfire. I'm thinking we should find a way to pull him out of there.
So Lalo finally arrives at home with Nacho in tow, and the homecoming is about what you would expect. Here Nacho gets the big family introduction, and it's pretty charming.
Quiero presentarles a Ignacio. Él se va a quedar con nosotros un tiempo. Es un amigo mío. These are my people. Yolanda, she is the best cook in all of Chihuahua. You're gonna eat like you have never eaten before in your life.
And don't forget to hit like and subscribe, or the dogs get it.
Thanks to your generous support, these two knuckleheads survived all the way through Season 5, and I'm happy to report that they're still disrupting my sleep at every opportunity.
Back in Albuquerque, Jimmy Saul is so freaked out about Lalo, who visited him at the end of the last episode, and rightfully so. He's certainly afraid for his safety, and more to the point, he's afraid for Kim's safety. So he rents a room, and he's trying to get Kim to stay in it because he thinks it's a safe place.
Give you a continuance on anything. Hey, Kim, we already sprang for this place. I'm just saying, let's take advantage. Let's John and Yoko this sucker.
And here, Jimmy states the situation quite accurately.
Here's the thing. Lalo has guys, right? So it doesn't really matter where he is. If he finds one loose end, all it takes is a phone call.
This next bit is very good. I can just relate to it. It reminds me of many situations I've been in as an attorney. Kim is working for her clients. She tells them that the state drops the charges. They just don't understand what it means. And I've been there, and it's kind of interesting. Even as a prosecutor, I remember dismissing cases and the defendant sitting there, and we have to say, you can go now. This is over. So I just find it very charming. I don't know if they really intended it to be funny, but I found it very, very funny.
That means we won. The state dropped the charges. No, you don't have to appear in court again.
And here's Kim again trying to find her soul's purpose or something via clients in practice. And I've been complaining about this for several videos now. At least this, through the character, shows me that the writers feel the same way about it as I do. The character kind of mocks her for the position she's taking.
Make sure I'm spending my time where it'll do the most good.
I got you. So plain old indigent's not good enough for you. You want the clients that'll get you, in here.
This public defender agrees to let her pick out her own cases, and this gives me a little opportunity to talk about law stuff.
Domestic violence. Or, if you feel like you do want juveniles.
Okay, so when I was a prosecutor, I handled the juvenile call for both as victims and as perpetrators. And all the juvenile stuff has to be different. We had to clear the courtroom. Nobody could observe the juvenile call on either end. And boy, it is heart-wrenching work. I don't know if it'll fill your soul. I mean, some days it'll rip your guts out. So I've done the juvenile stuff. If you really want to go on an emotional roller coaster, hey, do juvenile law. It's some oftentimes very, very sad stuff in both sense, when the juvenile's a victim or when the juvenile's a perpetrator. So they kind of get this right. They go through a laundry list, and at least in my experience, it coincides with my experience. If you really want to tug at your heart, go to the juvenile call. Here, Howard Hamlin runs into Kim in court, and he pulls her aside so he can sort of tell on Jimmy and all of his bad behavior recently.
He threw bowling balls over my front gate.
Bowling balls?
Someone could have been really hurt. More or less destroyed my car. Then, a couple of weeks later, I'm having lunch with Cliff Main, and I'm accosted by 2 prostitutes.
He does not exactly get the response he expected.
And that's it? Sorry. Howard.
Saul is losing his mind here with anxiety, and rightfully so, because he's not sure what Lalo's going to do to him. So he goes to Mike to get answers.
It's not my fault that I got ambushed. Why did I have to lie to Salamanca about that? Who was I lying for? Now, you gotta tell me what is happening now!
Finally, Mike relents and actually does give him some pretty serious information.
This man has other things on his mind. He's not thinking about you. Lalo Salamanca is going to die tonight.
I love this next bit. Lalo goes to deliver the proceeds of his drug trade to Eladio, and of course he does it in awesome Lalo style.
A ver. Frank. Un regalo. ¿Qué es esto? Oh. Este es el hombre.
Eladio really likes the pile of cash delivered in a Testarossa, but he's not so sure about Nacho.
Entonces estás bien aquí todavía. Estoy jugando contigo. Vamos a platicar tú y yo, ¿eh?
So Nacho's part in this plot is to open the back gate so they can come in and assassinate Lalo. Problem is, Lalo's out there at the fire, actually being sort of charming and nice. So Nacho creates a diversion so he can get his job done.
Got anything stronger? Now you're talking. In the bar, bottom shelf, decanter. That's the good stuff.
The diversion works, and Nacho springs the back gate.
Adentro en la cocina.
The usual Better Call Saul bloodbath ensues, but Lalo manages to escape and get out through a tunnel which he has under his bathtub. Back in Albuquerque, Kim and Jimmy have been talking about ways to basically cause the settlement of the Sandpiper case, which would set them in a pretty good position financially. They decide they can do it by really destroying Howard Hamlin, but creating something and embarrassing him, and that would force the parties to the table to settle. And this is pretty telling. It's sort of the end of the storyline for these two this season, and Kim is really the one driving this idea, and it means she's gone fully to the dark side. She's been headed there for a while now, but she's now leading the charge.
We would have to hurt him bad. To get a bunch of lawyers to run for the exits, Howard would have to have done something unforgivable.
So Nacho tunnels out of his house, but then he circles back, and everybody dies except Nacho. All of the assassins get killed, and except there's one last one left, and he forces him to make this phone call and tell them that the job is done, and that's where we leave it.
Les vas a hablar y les vas a decir que fue un trabajo difícil, pero que ya está hecho. Ven.
The takeaways. Well, we are all set up for season 6 now. The big event here is Kim has gone completely dark, and it looks like they're about to do some bad stuff to Howard Hamlin. And of course, the very end here, the assassination attempt on Lalo has failed, and that could have huge implications. Here at Law Talk, we do a lot of videos answering common legal questions. We also do reviews of law in the